Hello, welcome to the Spiritual Quest podcast, where we talk about being a 5D new human. Whoa, what's a 5D new human? Well, does that term resonate with you? If it does, you belong here. There's a calling that's taking place right now, and that calling is inside of us. There's a frequency that's just overwhelming so many people as our world is reaching this massive point of change. This is not a bad thing. This is not a scary thing. This is not a salvation thing. This is not a religious thing. This is an information thing that once you tap into the information, you're going to be able to sense the frequencies in that transmission, in that information. So we hear a lot about 5D frequencies, the 5D new earth, right? The 5D humans, the 5D star seeds, right? All these crazy conversations and all these crazy conspiracy theories and all these insane discussions that seem to be taking place all around us. Well, I'm here to talk about being a 5D new human as I get dressed. Apparently I didn't button my shirt today. So 5D new human, what is a 5D new human? Again, it's a feeling inside. We realize that inside of our chest is our heart beating. That's the frequency of love and light. That's the human frequency, which is the God frequency. It's love and light. That frequency is who we are as biological beings, and we're all connected to that source energy. That's what the 5D new human frequency is. So we breathe in and we feel it, and we know that we're human. We know that we're alive. We know that this frequency pumps through our chest. And as you're interacting with the world around you, you will discover that there are frequencies all around you all the time. Okay? So let's start with this basic frequency. What is the frequency of home? What is the frequency of home? What does home feel like? We all have our definitions of home, right? We have a frequency of home. And if we grew up in an amazing house with wonderful siblings or wonderful friends in a safe neighborhood, we probably have an amazing combination of words that we use to describe that home. And if you happen to be raised in a violent household with an abusive parent, where drug dealers were common visitors to your home, right? There was massive anger all the time flying around you. There wasn't enough food. What are the words to that frequency home? There would be words that would carry the frequency of what that home might be like. Every single person has their own unique experience in life. We have our own unique current that we swim in. We have our own channel of information that we grew in. We grew up in a culture. We grew up in a community. We grew up in a family, good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is. We all have our own experience. That becomes our 5D frequency, becomes a frequency of our life. We define everything by our own frequencies. So most of us who discover that we're really good at sports, we probably love sports. Those of us who discover we love to play music, we're probably musicians because we vibrate in the frequency of who we are in the source code of who we are. That's what being a new human is. So the new human is only beginning to realize that who am I as a human being? And it's important that we ask this because right now everything's going AI. And we have all these bots and avatars and all of these things that are available to us online that we can see, that we can tap into, all kinds of stuff. And some of it is just like it's almost hard to understand because people, they start using strange language. They want to change the words. They want to change the stories of everything. And they start creating all of these weird scenarios and they start referencing, off-worlders or some religious traditions, right? All of those narratives, all of those stories, all of those relationships that we have within our human historical records and in our human interactions, right? Those become our frequencies. We live in the frequencies of our community. We live in the frequencies of our world. So 5D new human, we come to discover this frequency within us. And then we choose to be in this frequency, to know what's safe, to know what's good. So talking to my granddaughter the other day, and I said, you know in here when something is right, and you know in here when something is off. You need to trust this. You need to trust this. You need to trust this more than you trust anything, more than you trust me, more than you trust your mother, more than you trust anything. You need to trust your own true inner frequency to know if you're safe or not. So you need to trust this. You need to know whether or not you're safe. Because if you don't know and you don't resonate with your own being, with your own coherence, with your own competency, you're not in control of your reality. You become a pawn in the game of reality. And all of the energies that swirl around us all the time, all the different energy streams and all the different channels of information, we can get swept away. We get swept away. We get caught to the next narrative. We just catch the next wave. That's the 3D matrix. The 3D matrix is the chaos. The 3D matrix is the insanity. The 3D matrix is the everyone arguing, everyone pointing at something else as being broken or wrong. That world is done. That world, we've outgrown it. Collectively, as a humanity, we are no longer comfortable being stuck in a box. That box being our religion, or that box being our culture, our ideology, right? Our philosophies, right? Whatever it is that we hold tight to, it's okay that we hold tight to something because that's our 5D frequency, and we need to stay balanced with who we are in here, right? But the rest of the world is not in here with us. The rest of the world has its own buoyancy centers. Every other human being has their own 5D core center. And we're all coming to discover our own 5D new human core vibrational frequency. That's what the 5D new human frequency is. Coming to discover ourselves in here. And when we discover ourselves in here. And this has been a topic that's been going around for a long, long time. And this is called God, right? And so many young people today have been robbed of what God was. They've been robbed of the idea that we are divine beings, that we are actually living entities that have blood flowing through our chest. We have a heart that pumps. We have lungs that breathe. We have bellies that digest food. And all of that happens without us even thinking about it. All of the life that flows through us, that life force is called God. That was the word. Some people call it universal source energy. Some people just call it energy. Call it Holy Spirit. There's all different words. There's all different types of explanations. When you go inside with a deep breath and you hold your breath and you feel your heart pumping and you just exhale slowly, feel what you feel in your belly, because that's your God source. That's where you belong. And when you feel this peace and you just exhale slowly, you're going to feel a peace in your belly. When it's just you in here alone with you in this frequency, in this God frequency, in this frequency of love and light, that frequency that pulses through you, the blood that you are life itself. That's who you are, right? And when you resonate in this frequency, notice how it feels in your belly. Notice the peace that's in there. Notice the calm that can be there. Then notice what it is that disrupts that, because there's a thought that comes in to rob you of that. There's a fear that comes in to rob you of that. There's an anxiety, there's a stress, there's a worry. All of those are frequencies. So what are the frequencies that rob you of this 5D pure love and light joy of who you are in your core? When you realize that you are just life itself, that's who you are. You are life. That's what being a human, it means. We are actually biological beings and we have life flowing through us. And that life frequency flows through everything that exists. And the collective coherence of our reality is that source energy, right? As individuals, we have our little ego and we get to play the part. We get to play the part of being a co-creator in this reality because our source, that God source, which is in here, I can feel it. I connect to it through here. But behind me, there's this resource that's un undrainable, right? It's an absolute, complete, whole abundance that could never, ever, ever, ever be drained. And that frequency and that source, that's who I am. I'm connected to that source through my love and light 5D frequency. That's what a 5D new human is. Those are the words that are describing the 5D new human frequency. There's no advantage to coming to 5D other than you get to be in control. You realize that you do get to be the co-creator of your own reality, that you don't have to be the pawn that gets driven by every other influence that comes around. You know, when you discover what you need and what you want, as I said to my granddaughter, you know when you're safe. And if you know you're not safe, you need to trust that and you need to take action accordingly. So you need to learn to trust this. This is what religion taught for decades or millennia, right? Was we realized that we needed to connect to our source. And collectively, in our own communities, we had our Christian God, right? We had our Muslim God, our Islamic God. We had a Buddha a God, right? We had Vishnu and all these other Ra, Jehovah, Allah, all of these terms and all of these experiences were all describing the same thing. And they were describing 5D new human, describing who we are as humans, that we are in fact life itself. And the 5D is coming into play because we've reached this quantum computing. We now have AIs and all information of humans that we've been debating and discussing and studying forever. All of that information is now coherent in AI. We can go online and you can get the answer to any question. And no matter how deep you want to go, the answer is there. On any subject, the answers are there. The answers are there to be discovered and to be known. So what is it that we can know? We can know whatever it is that we want to look at, right? And just as when you go outside and you're able to look at the world around you, anything that you focus on, you can learn it. Anything that you decide to put your attention to and you focus on, you can come to recognize and to resonate with that frequency. So if a friend comes over and they have something to share and they're excited, you can resonate with their frequency. Or you can say, I don't like that frequency. Okay, well, what do we do with that? What do we do with our friends when we feel like we're not in frequency with our friends, right? Well, oftentimes we recognize that we don't feel comfortable with what our friend is, their frequency that's coming at me. And then I think, well, I don't really want to be there. But then you start taking this frequency that your friend is potentially introducing or it's resonating within you, and you start to turn it on yourself and you start to feel guilty. Well, I shouldn't feel that way. I shouldn't be this way, right? Feel the densities of those frequencies. So 5D is come to clarity. Come to realization, vibe in 5D, know that you are love and light. That is who you are in here. Find that place within you, connect to that place within you. That's the new earth. That's the new system. That's the 5D new earth. And it's a new perception, right? And there's no one that's not able to access this. You can access your 5D perception. You just go inside, you feel it. You know that you're in 5D. And it feels like bliss. It feels happy. It feels like joy. It's just life itself. You realize that you are life. And life is amazing, 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 especially when you come to 5D. So I'm going to run one of my videos that we've been creating to kind of promote some of these ideas, see what you think, and we'll get back. We'll talk a little bit more. Take a deep breath in. You can feel it, can't you? Something inside humanity is stirring. There's a remembering happening. We are not machines of survival. We are fields of light, becoming aware of ourselves. The new human doesn't arrive from the sky. It awakens in the quiet moment when you choose love instead of fear. Every heartbeat sends a signal into the collective. Every act of kindness rewrites the grid of Earth. This is the currency of the fifth dimension, the frequency of compassion. When we live from that vibration, the world reorganizes around us. You are not waiting for ascension. You are the ascension. Remembering itself as a 5D new human right now. Welcome. Welcome home. Spiritual Quest. Okay, there you have it. Another video, another 5D Spiritual Quest video that we do, trying to promote and trying to encourage this frequency, right? We're trying to remind everybody of that who we are. We're love and light. That's who we are as humans. We are love and light and bliss and joy, and everything that we could ever want or need is already here. It's already available to us because everything that has been created by us as source, as God, as the creators in this realm. We're all offspring of the creator, and we are creators ourselves. And when we vibe in our 5D frequency, right, that's where we become creative. That's where we get great ideas. And by the way, when we're working on our 5D creative ideas, when we're working on our skill sets as a musician or as an athlete or as a builder, that gives us satisfaction. Amazing satisfaction comes when we're in harmony with our frequency. That's the 5D connection to source. So 5D is we're just all lining up with our source frequency. What's our source frequency? Because there is not a right source frequency and a wrong source frequency. There's only source frequency. So what makes it right or what makes it resonate or makes it dissonant is if I am in the right frequency and I'm vibing in my pure core, love and light, I don't create dissonance with anything around me. I'm not triggered by anything around me because I'm in this space. That's 5D perception. And we first tap into it. First, we discover it. So first, if this is the first you're hearing of it, discover this place. Notice what that feels like. Find this place. When you start your day, you start your day in this place. You find this place and we start to live from in here. That's the 5D new human. That's the new earth. We live in the new earth, right? Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you. That's what 5D perception is. It's just knowing who you are, that you are source, and that everything that exists is a part of you. You're the source, right? We have one little role that we play, but our ability to know everything, we're source. So we can know every single thing that there is to be known. All we have to do is look at it. All we have to do is vibrate with it. And we know as humans whether or not something vibrates with us or not. If we refuse to look at something, if we refuse to listen to something that we disagree with, if we refuse to look, if we refuse to listen, if we refuse to acknowledge, to resonate, right? All we're doing is blocking our own enlightenment. We're denying ourselves access to information. Because as 5D new humans, we can know everything. And the AIs have every single answer. And if you're afraid of the AI, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of learning? Like, what is it that you can learn that you don't know as source? Like, what is it that you can learn that we don't already know collectively as a human race, right? When we start to resonate in this frequency and we all just move to our love and light frequency, which is where we're going, this is the 5D new human movement, we're all just finding our place. It's a place of love and joy. Find love and joy with your friends. Share love and joy with your friends. And if you're with friends and you don't feel love and joy, find new friends. Because maybe that's not a frequency that you want to be in. As we all collectively discover this inner place, and we vibe from this place of feeling whole, and we live from this place of feeling whole, the world becomes so much better. It becomes so easy. We're living in an entirely new world, and it's not a new physical planet. It's a new perception. It's 5D perception. This is what the 5D New Human Movement is about. This is what we talk about on this podcast. This is a weekly podcast. You can go back and listen to episodes because these ideas and these concepts have been evolving now for over a year. And you can go back and listen. When we started the podcast, they were only audios. But you can grow and listen and learn along with us. And you can resonate in these frequencies yourself. And hopefully you'll say, I like this 5D. And you know what the world needs? The world needs more 5D love and light. Like, that's what we all need. If every person on every political issue changed their frequency from anger and attack and bitter and warring, and they changed it to love and light and caring and warmth and generosity, it's just a different experience. Same thing. Everything's the same. The only thing that changes, our frequency. So notice the frequencies. What are the frequencies of home to you? Frequencies of home to you. What is home here? What is it in here that I am at home with? Who is this with me when I breathe? Who is this home feeling? How do I define this home feeling? Provide words for that home feeling. The Bible talks about love and joy and goodness and thankfulness and gratitude and all of these words that just feel right? And you'll notice when you start using words and vocabularies that are name-calling or belittling, that are attacking, that are aggressive, that are angry, that are sad, that are depressed, right? That are doubting, that are feeling off. Like those are frequencies. 5D New Human, we just start to watch the world from frequencies. And once we tap into our frequency center, we become totally anchored in our 5D New Human frequency. It's almost like you're floating around, and there's no frequency that you cannot assimilate or you cannot vibrate through the frequency fields of the world around you. And you just vibe to where you belong. And we all vibe to our love and light place. And when we do, the whole world is love and light. Imagine we bring that love and light into every aspect of our country, every aspect of our businesses, every aspect of every family, of every culture, of every community. What if we were all working to support one another in this love and light frequency? What if we changed our goals and objectives to being what's in it for me, and we start saying, no, what's in it for us? What's in it for us? What can we do for ourselves as a collective community, for a collective society, right? When we start getting together in love and light, and we start supporting one another, and we start caring about one another, it's a new world. It's a new earth, and it's right here. It's right here for the taking. We just have to be mindful of it. So find your 5D New Human Center. Find this frequency within you. Become mindful of it all the time. Learn every minute of every day to start your day here. Notice when you're in this frequency. Notice what knocks you out of it. And when you get knocked out, boom, you catch it. And then when that next thing comes again, before it knocks you out of your frequency, you're going to feel it coming, and you're going to be able to absorb it without, almost like a shock absorber on a car. You know, instead of getting jammed with the bump, you're going to see it coming. You're just going to be able to kind of float over it. And all the frequencies that are all around us all the time, and so many of them are negative, right? They're only negative because they're being fed the negative frequency from those who are resisting it, because that creates static, it creates noise, it creates irritation, right? You have arguments, you have fights, and it's like people splashing. The water's not going to calm down as long as we're splashing. So come to 5D and you lie quiet. You just sit quiet and you just go with the flow and you watch around you. And once you come in here and you truly ascertain this spiritual diamond, this spiritual light source that you are, you tap into this source energy, which is God, and that's unlimited love and light. There's an unlimited supply. You can never run out of love and light. You can never invest too much. And what if we all just started investing our love and light in one another? We start mirror looping one another's podcasts. We start saying, I like what this guy is saying. Yeah, let me share it. Love this. Mirror looping this frequency. Let's share this frequency. Find those who are sharing love and light. In whatever path that they're on, we all have our love and light frequency. And we know when a frequency is love and light because that's who we are in our pure core. Like that's the pure source, right? And it may only be on one simple thing that a person is showing love and light. I was thinking about, someone's talking about my dad, Dad, do you love me? Jesus Christ, I feed you. I go to work every single day to take care of you. I bust my ass for you. I pay for your insurance. I pay for your car. I pay for your dentures. Your dentist stuff. I pay for everything. That's him saying, I love you. That's him saying, I love you in his own language. So we've got to find our frequency is saying, how can I hear the words that are coming, but let me interpret the words that I'm hearing from that perspective. That's a 5D thought. That's a higher concept of what 5D frequencies are. That's the next level of these discussions that we're going to start having, is to start being able to decipher and to distinguish our own frequencies, because number one, we become our own solid, coherent, concise, stable frequency. You vibe in that frequency of love and light. That's who you are. And then as other people bounce in their own stable spaces of love and light, there's going to be almost like a natural balancing of the energy frequencies. When we start fighting with one another and we start irritating one another and we start interpreting everything that's happening around us out of our own fears and worries, that just creates more static and more noise. That's what the 3D matrix has been. And right now, many people are still fighting. They're still trying to find their way. And we love them all. We love every single person who's trying to find their way. And the answer for the human, the 5D new human, is you find it in here. Because there are no answers externally to you. There's distractions, there's joys, there's fun, like there's all these things externally to you. But the true peace, the true source frequency of love and light, the true God essence is an inner place. It's an inner spiritual thing. It's the kingdom of God. It's in here. It's in your heart. Find that frequency, live in that frequency, find that frequency. Share that frequency, mirror loop that frequency, comment on that frequency. Take pictures of that frequency, share that frequency, become that frequency. That's the 5D new human. This is what we talk about on my podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening in. Check out our Facebook page, The Spiritual Quest, where we do show others who are in this space doing the same thing. If you like this and you know you're a 5D new human, give us a thumbs up. If you've come this far and you know you belong here, say, I'm with you, exclamation point. Send us a rainbow, send us whatever it is that you send to validate your own 5D frequency. Let us know that you're in 5D with us. Please share our stuff. So grateful that you're here. Appreciate you so very much. Invite you to come back soon. We'll be here again. Peace.